Welcome back, everyone, to another segment of the MCR, Mac and Me. My name's TJ. In this segment, a little bit of review and a little bit of developing news involving a particular rhino. And actually, I don't even know if this person even deserves to be called a rhino at this point. But, there's a saying out there, politics makes for some strange bedfellows. And that I've never seen it more apply in this presidential campaign than before. I mean, you got rhinos writing letters saying how they're going to support Democrats because Trump is so evil and wicked. You got RFK, he's kind of saying the same thing, saying, yes, he has political disagreements with Trump. However, these disagreements he's deemed them secondary to how out of control the Democrat Party is. I mean, think about it. They were suing him and everything else.
Well, it's a matter of mowing the lawn while the house is on fire.
Yeah.
Is what he's saying.
Then you had Liz Cheney. She had to come out and say how she was supporting Kamala Harris. Okay. And Liz Cheney, she deserved to be primaried out. Hageman, I forget her first name, just whooped her derriere in the primary. So much so, and Liz Cheney, part of the J6 committee, she pawned herself off as the good Republican, and so just this past week, I came across a news report. It was either in the Right Scoop or the Gateway Pundit. I honestly forget which. It can easily be found. And in the news report, first it mentioned that she's convinced her father to vote for Kamala Harris.
Who's surprised there? The guy's a piece of shit. We did a video talking about what a piece of shit Dick Cheney is.
Well, here we go. But the gist of the article, that was just a side point leading up to the main point of the article. Liz Cheney, in a speech, endorsed Representative Colin Allred, a Democrat, who is running in the Texas Senate race against Ted Cruz.
Well, I'm sure it means so much to the people of Texas what Liz Cheney thinks about even what time of day it is.
Well,
talk about a self-important narcissistic bitch.
And that's exactly what I was thinking. But I was thinking, once a person is fully engulfed with TDS, Trump derangement syndrome, there is no turning around.
Well, I think that's only part of it. I think part of it is why, if you were to go down Trump's list of accomplishments and go back and look at Liz Cheney and Dick Cheney, all they've said over the years, they'd be right in lockstep with Donald Trump. So that tells me there's something else. Well, he insulted him. Well, you know what? That's politics. Are they that butthurt really that he said that Dick Cheney wasn't a good guy? Or is it this? They're so worried about what Trump might find out and expose them for, like the January 6th fraud she perpetrated on the American people, and maybe Dick Cheney's hand in the 9/11 attacks. Because I used to dismiss that, but the more and more I see of the Bushes and the Cheneys, I have to wonder if there isn't something to it.
Well, Eric Prince, he swears up and down that Cheney was nose deep in making money over in Afghanistan and Iraq. As far as I forget the name of the company, but a contracted agency for military support.
Was it? Are you talking about Blackwater?
Well, Eric Prince is Blackwater.
Right.
But there was a contract agency that, for instance, serviced the porta potties, serviced the food catering trucks. Okay, all of this came to a contractor which had ties to Cheney. Okay, and Eric Prince swears up and down that he made a lot of money over there during those wars. Whether they were justified or not, he made a lot of money. Okay,
Yeah.
And that, I'm getting that news from Eric Prince on the Sean Ryan podcast is where I got that from. Okay.
Okay.
But anyways, back to the topic of the segment though. When I read that about Ted Cruz, you and I used to be Ted Cruz supporters before we were Trump supporters. I would tell
Correct.
you, I'm still a Ted Cruz supporter.
As am I.
Okay. So when I took it a little personal when I read about it. I thought, you know what, just another affirmation of what a piece of excrement this Liz Cheney is, you know. And was I surprised? But you keep thinking at some point common sense is going to come knock upside the head these people, and it's not even a possibility.
They don't live in a world where they need common sense. You and I, we have to have it. We can't afford to be leftist.
It's just and I'm compelled to take a walk down memory lane here, okay? And let's go back to the 1990s, late 1990s, when Bob Dole ran for president, okay? I remember someone from the Dole campaign called me up. Back then we still had landlines. So I get a phone call at home, and it's someone from the Bob Dole campaign. And they really took offense when I said, don't worry, I'm going to hold my nose and vote for the guy. And they really seemed to take issue with that statement.
Well, Bob Dole was a compromiser. Was my issue with him. I think he was a good man. Certainly his military service would indicate that, but he certainly wasn't like these people.
Yes. But my point being is, Bob Dole, then you had McCain, then you had Romney. You can even throw Bush 45 in there. There was this whole back then, here's my point. 43. Back then, we didn't necessarily think of the term rhino. I don't even know if the rhino, I think the term may have begun, but I always thought of, here we go, next in line candidate, And
yeah, I got a taste of that in Michigan with, I was part of the Republican Party for a few years. Was elected as a precinct delegate. I've been elected 4 times, actually. And I was part of it. It became pretty apparent to me in Michigan, we were going to run whose turn it was next, who was in the on-deck circle, not who could win.
Along came Herman Cain, and I was a Herman Cain supporter. And and to me, that was part of my political awakening, was how they threw him under the bus only to give Obama a pass. And you know what? If you want to fault me for being a Trump supporter, it goes back to the way Herman Cain was treated.
Right.
A black Republican will add to the mix here.
Well, he wasn't the right black guy.
Exactly. So he
was the black guy on the right. That was the problem.
To any anti-Trump, never Trump person, you can thank the way that the establishment treated a black Republican some years ago. Okay, that
right.
Was my awakening into where I'm at today. I'll tell you, but that's a whole nother rant there. Rush Limbaugh, when he was still alive, warned us of these people, and I remember hearing him on the radio and thinking, oh, what could he be talking about? Well, you know what? I know exactly now what he was talking about. I'll keep ranting on that. I've pretty much said my piece. So Mac, anything you want to wrap up with, have at it.
No, just disregard these people. They're covering something up, and they're worried that it's going to get exposed. Because if Trump has been good at anything, he's been good at exposing people for who they really are.
One last thought here, kind of in keeping with the politics makes for strange bedfellows. There's a Jeff Waltz, brother to Tim Waltz. His whole family's come out in support of Trump.
Right. They say he's not a man. The brother's comment was something to the effect of, he doesn't have the kind of character that you want for someone in high office.
Yeah, and I've heard the word estrangement used in their relationship too. So, I don't know the situation. Couldn't tell you who's right, who's wrong. Other than I did, you get a perverse snicker at the thought of Waltz's brother supporting Trump.
Yeah.
So that just adds to the mix, making it all that more interesting. So that's it. We'll wrap this segment up. Thanks everyone for your support, and we'll catch you all in the next segment. As always, be safe, watch your six, and don't tread on me.